How's it going, guys? I'll try to give a more thorough view of what's going on with the oopsie, Jewel Rancid situation. She might be Jewish, but that's not really what we're talking about here. Okay? Wow, that was weird. Okay. So we're talking about the Jewel Rancid situation. Attila situation with her baby Sophia. A lot of you guys probably already know about this, and I kind of gave my take on this before, but there was some hyperbole in there and some stuff for theatrics. A lot of things I said, a lot of opinions were shared, but my view on California and how maybe California CPS would just give the baby to Jewel and Attila because why? Why would they care about babies over there in California? I don't know. But let's be serious. I can be serious. I worked a job for 7 years where I had to be really, really serious to the point to where it was painful. All right. So, yes, we're going to be looking at the Jewel Rancid, or her Lillian Albritton. Lillian Albritton situation with the baby Sophia. I know there's question, and there's questions about the baby and about like how CPS is handling it and what's going on. We'll explore that. But before we do that, and obviously, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a former social worker, former CPS worker in the state of Texas. So not California, but state of Texas. But I couldn't imagine things would be all that different as far as things go with assessing for safety and risk for kids. But then again, it is California. All right, and let me go ahead and explain what I understand of the situation. And if I get anything wrong, let me know. Let me know, okay? If I get anything wrong, just let me know, and the chat will correct some things. But from what I understand, Jewel Rancid, or Lillian Albritton, and Attila the Hound, I don't know his last name, don't care. They are a couple. They got married. He married her. Attila married Lillian Albritton for the green card because he's a foreigner. And even though she's damaged goods, and I mean, she is very severely mentally ill. And it's not just drug-induced. I've found previous YouTube videos of her, and I'm like, wow, she's been mentally ill for a long, long time. But they've recently had a baby. Her name is Sophia. When the baby was born, it was experiencing withdrawals. And it's been in the NICU for a while. Now, of course, Lillian Albritton, or Jewel Rancid, is a streamer, IP2 streamer. So is Attila. So all their doings and happenings are put out there for everyone to see. All the stuff. And throughout the pregnancy, Lillian Albritton was taking numerous bong hits several times a day. Now, some doctors, some nurses may tell you marijuana's fine. That's not going to cause an issue. And I will tell you that from what I understand and I'm leaning on experience here from what I gathered, or information I gathered from doctors and nurses when I was a CPS worker. They would tell me that babies aren't going to withdraw from marijuana, at least not in a way that's going to be not in a severe way. It's not going to be life-threatening or anything. That they could have shakes, though. They could have some, because they like to get high. Okay, the babies are so used to getting high every single day, every single hour of the day with their mom, and now they're not. But anyway. But there's other substances that were used, apparently. According to Blade, Only Use Me Blade, and also according to Attila. There's some clips we could play where they talk about using acid and shrooms while she was pregnant. That could, what that does to a baby, I'm not sure. I never worked that case. I worked the cases where the babies were born with a mom that tested positive for methamphetamines, heroin or opiates. The babies would test positive. The babies would have withdrawal symptoms or be in NICU. Horrible things. Okay, so that's the situation from what I understand, and they don't have the baby, and I don't think they're going to get the baby. Let me tell you something. I do not see how CPS would give them the baby, and I do believe CPS is involved. Even from what I gathered from listening to Attila talk, it sounds like CPS is involved. They talked to a social worker. I got that from a live stream. I got that from Attila. They talked to a social worker. There's so many things. Maybe I have it queued up to play. Let's see. Man, I should have. Oh, I think I bookmarked that page. Let me see if I can pull it up. A moment. Is it this one?
What's up, Chad?
Oh, that's her puke stuff. Oh, okay. I'll play a little bit of this. There's one of these clips he does talk about talking to a social worker. I guess I'll play that. And then once I do that, I'll give you what I think of the situation and how it would be handled if it was done in Texas. Okay, if this whole thing was in Texas. All right, let's put this on the screen here. I believe this is the clip here. Okay. Where they have to talk to a judge. They talk about having to talk to a judge. You don't talk to a judge normally unless CPS is involved. The state is involved with taking custody of your kid. All right, that's why you have to talk to a judge.
Congrats, Mr. CEO. Is it true what Beck said, that you're going to talk to a judge?
Talk to a judge? We don't have to talk to a judge yet. We talk to social services.
Talk to social services. Social services. What does he mean social services? He's talking CPS. They talk to CPS. CPS is involved. Now, these two individuals, I'm going to tell you from my experience as a social worker, there's a lot of families like this. When I see them and I hear the way they talk about their experience, like I guess talking with a social worker, talking with social services, it kind of fits. Like, they're not really all there. They don't seem to really understand the situation. They seem to have the guy's kind of distant from it, cares only a little, maybe not at all. The mom is totally aloof. Like I don't know, it has this, like, not operating in reality. I don't know how to really frame it. She does not seem to be operating in any sort of reality here. Because she's like, why do we have to talk to a judge?
Why would we have to talk to a judge? Are we trying to just shout out and write a letter to the judge to say?
Why should we talk to a judge? Are we trying to shout out and write a letter to the judge? They don't understand the situation. They don't understand. They don't get it. They think it's a joke. And from my experience as a social worker, that's quite common with people who are heavily using drugs on the regular basis, where they don't even know what's going on. You can go up to them and tell them that, your child needs to be placed with relatives right now because of concerns for you. You could show them the safety plan. You can go over it. They'll even sign it. Afterwards, you're like, is that parent even aware of what's going on? That parent is high, or that parent is not mentally there. You either catch them in that state, or you catch them in the state where they're like, I guess, withdrawing, or I guess they can't get their fix, right? Where they're raging, they're pissed, they're mad. Or they're still not making any sense, though. Like, very not rational. Very seldom with heavy drug users, with heavy drug using parents, do you get them when they're sober. When you do get them when they're sober, they can be very smart sometimes. Try to be. They'll try to play these little games of trying to, they use. They know they use, but can you prove it? Those are some hardcore meth heads. But anyway. All right. Now, of course, this situation is in California. I don't know how things operate in California. I can only speak for what happens in Texas. Okay? But it couldn't be all that different. In the state of Texas, if you give birth to a child and you test positive for marijuana, CPS is getting called. CPS is getting called. They're mandatory reporters. They're going to call. There's been many cases where parents use marijuana and they'll even say, but my doctor said. Okay, can you prove that? Do you have that? Okay, if you do, then that's going to help you here. Is it only marijuana? What are we talking about? You have to go to the home and really assess the situation. But CPS is going to be involved. And until CPS really gets real comfortable with the parent having the child, the parent's not going to have the child. Now, the parent could try to fight and try to appeal, and they have every right to. They may win. They may not. Depends. But that's just marijuana. And it happens every time. Because hospitals are obligated reporters. They're mandatory reporters, not obligated, mandatory. They have to, by law, report. If they don't, well, they're breaking the law. They're in violation of the law. What happens then? And being a baby, being a newborn, that sort of case would be what we call a priority 1 case, meaning that the caseworker that's assigned to it has 24 hours to make contact with the child, 24 hours to make contact with the baby. And being that the family is probably going to be there at the hospital, only somewhere nearby, you see the baby, you talk to the doctors, you talk to the social worker, you talk to, or so they have other social workers there at the hospital. You get information from the collaterals. You get the drug screening if you can. If the parents are there, then you talk to them, right? But if they're not there, okay, well, you talk to the baby, you talk to the people at the hospital. You have a game plan as far as, okay, we're going to go ahead and keep the baby here at the hospital. And CPS is going to use that time to go to the court with the information. If they have information right there to show that the baby tested positive or the mom tested positive, right then and there with staff of legal, with the legal department, be like, okay, do we have grounds for an order? Do we have grounds to request TMC, or temporary management managing conservatorship? I'm sorry. And if they say yes, okay, well, you're creating an affidavit right there, and you're sending it. You're doing all that. So that's probably been done here in their situation. Okay? Like I said, it could be different. Like they're in California. But I wouldn't be surprised. Because they're talking about a judge. They're talking about court. They're talking about social services. They don't seem to understand that the baby is not going home with them. And they don't understand. The mom doesn't get it. The mom should get it. This is not her first time. Jewel Rancid, or Lillian Albritton, has had two or three kids removed. It's hard to confirm because CPS, that stuff is confidential. It's really hard to get. To get those records, you would have to, I don't know, you'd have to do some very shady, possibly illegal tactics, like, I don't know, pretend that you are somebody that you're not so you can get access to the records, because they're not just going to hand anybody records. Anyway. But like I said, in Texas, that's what would happen. If a baby were to be born with a mom that tests positive for marijuana, just even marijuana, and the baby doesn't even have to test positive. If the mom tests positive for marijuana when giving birth to the baby at the hospital, a case would be generated because the hospital would call CPS. And then within 24 hours, a CPS worker will be making contact with that baby. If that worker doesn't, that worker is going to pretty much be chewed out by a supervisor, reprimanded somehow. I mean, look, CPS has a whole bunch of issues. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you are being bombarded with cases, lots of cases, and you don't really have the time to really deal. Like sometimes, when you have to bounce from serious situation to serious situation, and you start assessing it, sometimes it could be maybe this situation isn't as serious as another situation, so this one doesn't get your full focus, but this one does. It's. But we'll I guess we can explore that another time. Really, CPS workers prioritize their cases, even with the P1 cases. But anyway. But this would be a priority one case. They would make contact within 24 hours. And there would be a safety plan. There would be, the court would be involved. Legal would be involved. And then, because that baby is not going home until the mom can show that she's clean. But for the prior use, because there is a drug test, we do know that she did use. If the mom is willing to undergo services, take services that will help her. And the baby's definitely not going home until the home is actually assessed. Who's all in the home? Because the hospital only knows, like, the dad and the mom. Maybe just the mom, because the mom is there giving birth. They know nothing about the home life, really. So it's like, okay, what's going on in the home? What's going on there? If a CPS worker goes to the RV where they live, oh, god damn. It's going to be horrible. Be like, no, this baby ain't coming back. This baby is not going here. Okay. No, not at all. You have all these other dope fiends. Okay. They're all going to need to be drug tested. Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't know what their plan is. To live in a hotel room? That's not stable. Okay. If they want to claim the RV as residence, everyone that's in the RV would have to take a drug test. If it was in Texas, they would be like, okay, we need to drug test these individuals because now we have concerns that there's drug use in the home, like hardcore drug use. And there might be some sexual abuse going on in the home. Well, sexual assaults, I should say, by Blade and Gucci's. I'm just saying. Like, it wouldn't happen. The baby would never go there. What's wrong? ZXV, Deadman has revered. I don't know what you guys are saying. Blood clot dead gay. I guess. Is there a blood clot? I know you guys are saying. So, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions or anything about this? About this stuff? They live in the car. Well, the car is not a residence. The baby is not going home to a car. If this was Texas, right? Most definitely. Most definitely. In that situation, and I worked cases where the family was homeless, where the mom was homeless, living in a car. I was like, okay, wait a second. Do you have any family here? No, my family's all from Mississippi. It's like, you need to go to a shelter. Like, you need to go to a shelter now. Like go to a shelter. Let's assess your situation. What's going on here? Gonna, try to get the information. It seems kind of weird why she's all of a sudden coming over here in Texas from Mississippi. Don't know about her criminal history here in Texas because she doesn't have anything. What's her history like in Mississippi? What's her CPS history like in Mississippi? A lot of things that could take some time for me to get. But right now it's like, okay, wait. Why don't you go check in at a shelter and chill for a bit? It's where are you going to go? What's your plan? I don't plan on staying long. I plan on going back. Oh, now you're going to go back to Mississippi. What's going on here? What's going on? Yeah, I worked a case like that. I can tell you how it ended. It didn't end very well. Okay? I mean, the child didn't die. I mean, I hope not. God forbid. But being that she's in a car and homeless, you know what happened there in that case? In this particular one I'm talking about? And I'm not saying names or anything, not giving locations, so it's not like I'm revealing all that. Well, she drove off. She was done talking to me. She drove off. So I started... They tell you in training not to chase. Because, I mean, we're not cops. And right now, she's not really breaking any law for me to really get the police involved. It's, I mean, I don't know if that's her kid or not. It looked like her kid. I mean, I didn't have any reason to suspect maybe it was like a kidnapping or anything like that. But yeah, in that situation, I did call the police. I was like, look, we have this. Oh, I can't say too much. I did notify the police. It has a certain vehicle, a certain license plate. Is someone I'm looking for. I kind of followed her a little bit. But they reached a certain point to where she was gone. That one sucks. Now, there's other situations where they're homeless in the car. And they do follow the advice. And they do check into like a shelter. And we assess that situation. Man, I've had it where like they're in a car, homeless. They don't have much. They look like they're on drugs and stuff. Man, take that baby right then and there. Pretty much take that baby right then and there. Just tell them. Give them a notice of removal. Be like, all right, this is what we're doing. You call law enforcement though, in case anything were to go awry. Okay, you don't have a gun. You're not supposed to anyway. I know in the state of Texas you are allowed to, but as a CPS worker, it's like if you use it, they're probably gonna, they're probably not gonna have your back. The agency doesn't have your back on pretty much anything. If anything goes down, if anything goes south, and the full shit families like lie, which sometimes they do, they don't really have your back on much. But at the same time, yeah. So yeah, I worked several cases where homeless people in cars on drugs, and had to get the police involved. And I could just relating on that. No, there's no way Sophia would go to this car, live with them. There's no way Sophia would do any of that. And let me tell you something. The way Jewel has been talking, the way Lillian has been talking, she knows that she's going to have to do rehab. But I don't think she understands that what rehab is what they're going to be looking for. Let me text this. This is important. I'm texting important stuff. Okay. Right now I'm sorting out something. Sorting out where to bury. No. Wait. I'm not gonna do any hyperbole jokes about burying hookers. Oh, son of a bitch! I just said it. Okay. We have a situation. We have a crisis on our hands. Okay. Jewel Rancid, she be sterilized. And supposedly, like, the state of Texas put in a one of those devices. What do you call those things? Those little devices you put in the uterus to block sperm. Supposedly they did that, but if they did, it didn't work, or she had it removed or something. But man, so that is, well, I mean, I can only really look at the situation from the perspective of a former Texas CPS worker. I don't know how they do things in California, but what I'm seeing, it seems like CPS is already involved. We know CPS is already involved. They don't have access to the baby. There's a clip I want to play. I just saw this on the farms. Don't know if it's any good. An hour or two later, they were streaming at the hospital with baby Sophie getting told off by the nurse. So I don't think they're even allowed to be around the baby, really, for all that much time. So we'll see. Let's play this. All right, I'm going to fast forward.
I think Blade completely forgot about the last time.
I'm going to increase the volume.
Attila was on the RV. He disrespected the president. Attila's right. Blade's changed. He's an SJW with a long neck girlfriend.
Last time was in
flag heaven.
Last time was in Slab City. I haven't seen Blade since Slab City.
That was a cute.
Slab City was the
all right. Right now he's talking about
one. And did he disrespect me there?
Well, he told us that we need to leave and that we shouldn't stream there.
Well, that's while I was sleeping.
Okay, they're talking about Blade. I don't really
He
care about
told
Blade.
you're not
Let's
allowed.
fast forward.
I don't know, but me
I
checking.
don't know, I don't remember.
Me checking after.
Fast forward some more.
Did that
What's it
happen?
say? Attila just pulled out his pecker.
Okay, I want to get to the end and see if they get chased off or get towed off by the nurse.
All the stuff that my mom knows, whatever. Right. And clap it.
It's supposedly they're supposed to be towed off by the
And
nurse.
we're gonna get out of here.
I don't know.
There's only so many hospitals. But that's the baby.
Maybe it's around here.
Okay,
It'd be better
I'm gonna
to
touch her a little bit.
screen these clips beforehand, right?
Come on, Sophie. Sophie. You ate your dinner, Sophie.
This is sad. I mean, they want to act like they're concerned to parents, but they weren't concerned when they're taking drugs together when Jewel was pregnant. He wants to act like he's concerned. All he cares about him is himself. Maybe he should go back to Romania.
What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? So, update. She's doing okay. Thinking about it.
I'm just going through this clip.
Popped out a alone? Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So
We'll leave
the
her
best
alone.
thing to do is just hands off for now.
Okay.
Oh, this is it. This is the part. Hands off for now. Don't touch the baby. They're not. Look at. Okay, let's play this. He has the hands on the baby.
Is that real?
Okay. Soon the nurse will come.
Dad, I know you're not picking her up, but every time you touch her, she kind of stirs up from her sleep.
Yes.
So
Okay. No, her eyes were open.
Right,
It seemed like she was awake.
She's a premature baby.
She would
We
just
wanna
leave her-
let rest as
Leave
much
her
as
alone.
She's a premature baby. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that, well, they're the reason why it's premature. It's their behavior. It's premature, and then they want to be like all around it and be all like, oh, I love this baby so much. They don't care. They don't care at all. Jewel Rancid is not willing to sacrifice and stop just getting high every single day. She thinks that I saw a clip where Jewel was saying that she was told that she can smoke weed. That's a lie. That is a flat out lie. No one told her that. Let me tell you something, okay? As a CPS worker, former CPS worker, these parents, especially the dope fiend parents, they lie to you all the time. And they're really creative with their lies. Like on spur of the moment, they'll just say whatever. But it's nothing. It's just a bunch of bull crap. They'll tell you, like when you interview them, when you talk to them, they'll tell you all this stuff, all this, that, and the other. And a lot of it is going to be bull crap. There might be an ounce of truth in their story of, do they get high? No, I don't get high. You don't get high? You don't use drugs? No. What do you do all day? Well, do you work? No. So what do you do all day? I hang out with friends. Okay, what do you do with your friends? Stuff. Well, what do you mean stuff? Like, tell me, what does stuff mean? Like, you say stuff. What is stuff? Talk to me. Help me out here. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing all day. Because they're getting high. They're getting high. It's they don't care about anyone else but themselves. Joe never has weed. It's Siggy Butts. Bronx Beats. That is a lie. That is a lie. Jewel smokes weed all the freaking time. Come on now. Come on now. Imagine being a deadbeat parent with AIDS. Well, that would suck. I'm not sure who's a deadbeat parent with AIDS. Jewel Rancid has 5 kids already. Well, technically, no. Her parental rights to her previous kids have been severed. They're not her kids. She's not the mom to those kids. She would be called a bio mom, but she has no rights to those kids. I'm saying that with pretty absolute fact. I haven't seen those papers because I'm a former CPS worker. I don't really have access to those papers. And even if I did, I couldn't really tell you, could I? Not legally. All right. So this stream was pretty fun. Pretty entertaining, I thought. It's very short. I need to take care of some stuff. There's some stuff I need to do. Okay? I hate to wrap it up short, but that is what it is. I just wanted to give a more kind of thorough take on the Jewel Rancid situation. It's from a caseworker perspective. There's questions about whether or not the baby's going to go back and all this stuff. There's no chance. There's no chance in hell that's happening. CPS is involved. and be like, well, how can you really prove it? Like, you're not going to find the CPS worker. You're not going to find anything about that stuff. They probably won't tell you. They probably did. You know what? I would be surprised if Jewel, Rancid, and Attila even remember who the CPS worker is. Okay? They were probably handed a card. Maybe not. In the state of Texas, you're supposed to give them a notice of removal. They were probably handed that, and I don't know, put that somewhere. They don't even. I mean, the way Jewel, Rancid, and Attila operate, it's like they're not even aware of the situation. Attila seems a little bit more aware, kind of, but he also doesn't seem like he cares all that much. Like, he pretends to care. It's like something inside him reminds him that, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to care. Let me put on this act here. I don't see that baby going home. Why does your wife have a separate bed, dead man? Lewis just said CPS is worse than the dope fiend parents. That is not true. That is not true. Are there issues with CPS? Sure. But I would rather have a child in CPS care than have a child with dope fiend parents. I mean, I know people want to shit on CPS, and there's a good reason to. But that's a stupid take. That's an absolute stupid take right there. I mean, especially in that RV, that baby doesn't have a chance in hell. That baby does not have a chance in fucking hell. That baby's going to be fucking neglected. She's neglected her previous kids, had them take it away for good reason. Bronx Beat says, don't come back. Don't come back. Man, why are y'all so mean? What's going on? Why are y'all so mean today? Live streaming this is pathetic and sick. Well, you don't have to be here. You could just leave. ZXV. I mean, who would really care? I mean, who really cares about you? I mean, honestly. Who are you? What do you do? Nothing. Nothing. You just kind of lurk and that's it. Show us the brap banter. Why are you such a fat mong, dead man? Interesting. Interesting stuff. Where's the banter, Mr. Banter Man? We're unhappy that you have nothing to do on a Friday. Oh, well, you guys don't have to be here. Anyway. With that said, I'm going to wrap up the stream here, take care of some things, and that's it. I'll be doing a horror stream tonight. Going to continue on with the Walton Files. Some bizarre shit. Anyway, I'll take it easy.